This week's episode of Quality Irrelevant is brought to you by the 14th annual Big Ass Purge launch party, presented exclusively by Fuck Pig Records. This year, the Purge is bigger and badder than ever before, and that deserves a big-ass Purge launch party to match. You want bands? This year's big-ass Purge launch party has a legit lineup of your favourite bands and artists represented by Fuck Pig Records, including DJ Clunge Slam and MC Donkey Punch, hard light holograms of Alvin and the Chipmunks, Gary Busey's Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, a ZX Spectrum amplified through an old boombox, and just the bassist from Captain Beefheart. But that's not all. You can get warmed up for the Purge by entering Uncle Jimmy's family-friendly murder arena. If you're the last man standing, Uncle Jimmy and his pack of ravenous mutated death gimps will murder you themselves. And if that doesn't float your boat, maybe our special guests will. We've got a cardboard cutout of Will Wheaton covered in drawings of dicks, Chesney Hawks' step-niece Miranda, the skeleton of John Merrick the Elephant Man, the #1 Ethan Hawke impersonator in the Western Hemisphere, Ethanol Hawkesbury, and former Vice President Spiro Agnew whipping pennies at you while you're in the queue. And there's more, like a free IMAX screening of the full 613-minute-long French version of Holocaust documentary Shoah, played much louder than all the bands, stand-up comedy from the ghosts of Fred and Rose West, and a live sex show by the Emperor of the Skeksis. You'd be literally balls out insane to miss it. What's that? Still not impressed? Well, how about if I tell you that the first 100 people through the door gets a free hammer? And you better believe we got the most high-class location for all of this crazy messed up shit. That's right, we're gonna be hanging out in the disused Benghazi Consulate building. You know you gotta get out of there by midnight, otherwise we're gonna spray you with napalm. So come on down to the 14th annual Big Ass Purge launch party and use the code Quality Irrelevant at the door to get 15% off an exclusive shawarma milkshake at the snack tent. The 14th annual Big Ass Purge launch party. So much fun you'll wish you were dead, and soon will be.
Wow, okay, that intro was fucking intense.
Oh yeah.
Of all the acts that you mentioned though, it was the Gary Busey, was it Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, some bullshit that jumped out at me.
Yeah, and as they come out on stage, they immediately put a disclaimer out, which is, hello, we are a Lynyrd Skynyrd cover band, but we don't know Freebird, so just get over that one and we'll just get on with the evening's entertainment.
Yep, let's just rip that plaster off nice and quick. There will be no Freebird, sorry. But don't worry, it's okay, we'll play one of our other well-known songs twice.
All of Lynyrd Skynyrd's other hits.
Yep, what about Werewolves of London?
What?
That was definitely Lynyrd Skynyrd, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember why it was about werewolves apart from the fact that they went "ah-woo" in it.
Yep, great bit of werewolf there. Anyway, fuck all that, because...
So, I mean, are you going to come to the Big Ass Purge launch party with me?
Oh, no. I've got a thing. I've got to do that night. I've got my hair is washed. I've got a crick in my wrist, which I need to see a hygienist about. Oh, and I've got a terrier in the oven, so... No, I can't. I've got... Oh, wait, no. I can't because I'm buying a house.
Okay, well... I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate the offer, but...
Sorry, I've just seen it sold out anyway, sorry. It's awkward.
Well, that is awkward, but I feel like we should actually address what this podcast is actually about. So, you've mentioned the Purge, which may or may not be the topic of the week, but Phil, I think you've actually been a bit premature here.
Always. I'm premature in everything I do. I answer the phone before it starts ringing. Sometimes I will whip open doors.
What, like, before the postman gets there, he's walking up the steps, letters in hand?
I'll wait until the postman is reaching to put the letters through the letterbox, and I'll just open the door so he falls over.
Yeah, it's a great prank.
I am a prankster of the highest order.
Well, potentially, it is a good time of year for a few pranks, because we all know what time it is, right?
Quality irrelevant time.
No. Yes, Phil, it is the Purge. It is Purge night, and earlier when I said you were premature, that is quickly becoming not the case. Because soon it will be the Purge, and we've got to prepare, we've got to get all our knives sharpened, all our guns loaded, we've got to work out all our Purge plans, all our tips, decide what we're gonna do, what weapons to use, you know, where's fashionable this year, what's trending, as they say. Where are we going to show face or not show face, depending on how, grindy it gets.
Face grindy.
Yeah, that's when they get a little bit overexcited. But to be fair, the excitement is already ratcheting up here in Basingstoke. I've already today seen quite a few, kickings in the face going on outside.
I think that is what they call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell if that's just like a normal day in Basingstoke, but it could be Purge related. It could be like they just can't wait, like on Christmas, you know, we get all excited and you're just like, oh, is Santa here yet? Is Santa here yet?
Oh, can I open my presents early? Can I kick this man in the head a bit early?
Oh, has Ian McShane climbed down the chimney and crept into bed with me in his filthy long johns? Don't worry, that one gets explained in the Christmas special. So, you know, all the people who are outside right now, jumping up and down on other people's heads, that's actually a bit of a shame because they're all going to go to jail because it's not the Purge yet.
It's a rookie Purge mistake, really, is to just get too excited. You know, you've got to just like sit tight until you hear the klaxon. Just as a sidebar, the klaxon is the only thing that can get me hard these days. But you listen for the klaxon, and then when it goes off, then you start. You can't be getting too overexcited about these things.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few things you can do. You can get all your pre-game plans all sorted out. You can show up to all your pre-Purge social events. But Phil, I think at this point, I have to stop and warn you. You better get that blow-up doll nice and positioned. There it goes. There goes the klaxon. It is now Purge night. We are now purging. Everyone get ready to purge. Phil, are you standing at the ready in more than one sense of the word?
I am standing in all of the senses, and I am armed with my machete. I think that's how it's pronounced. And ready for some purging.
Yep, of course, though, we are making a sacrifice during the first few hours of the Purge, because instead of being out purging, we are making this podcast all for you, you lucky people.
But it wouldn't be authentically a Purge special if we didn't do it actually on Purge night.
Yep, of course, we wanted it to be authentic, and there are also quite a few legal advantages to recording a podcast on Purge night. Some of the things that we say that shouldn't be in any podcast ever, that's all fine now. That's fine because there are no laws, so we can say what we like. And I should just say, as a legal disclaimer, retroactively, everything we've ever said on the podcast has now actually been said on Purge night. So anything we've ever said that could be considered scandalous or libelous or just, you know, immoral, that's all been said now. That's covered by Purge law or not law or however it is that Purge laws work when you don't have a legal system for a particular time. However it's all covered, okay?
Yeah, fuck magicians.
Yeah. That was all said now in this bit. So, and that goes for anything else, like Dave Benson Phillips, if you've got a lawsuit going on or something, well, Purge bitch, what the fuck are you gonna do?
And as far as I'm aware, that is a legitimate legal defense in court, is Purge bitch.
Oh, and Phil, you might be wondering, how come is it that I get to enjoy the Purge when I'm locked up in the asylum all on the hill over there?
I was wondering that.
Well, at this time of year, the warden tends to go a bit, mental and decides to let us all out as part of his purge. So then we get to descend on Basingstoke for holiday fun.
In many ways, the right to celebrate the purge is a basic human right. It would be inhumane if he kept you locked up on purge night.
Yeah, because that's not allowed. That's the one thing you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to go against the spirit of the purge, because that's, just no.
Yeah, that's the one thing that'll really get you a proper good telling off and possibly a sharpened toothbrush in the eye.
Now, our viewers may be wondering, Phil, how it is that you and I survive Purge Night. How come is it that you two get to live in a world where the Purge exists? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You two would just be killed immediately. Well, I know that we both have some Purge tips that are coming up soon that we can share with all the lovely boys and girls.
Oh, yes.
We'll also be going over all the details of our Purge traditions and getting into all the stuff we like to get up to at this time of year. But until then, let me just say, stay safe out there, guys. It's purging time, so make sure you're armed. And never forget that if you find yourself in the position with someone running at you with a bit of a monkey wrench or something, maybe he's swinging the head of his wife, right, all covered in blood and not wearing anything on his upper body, so he looks as if he has taken a blood shower. We've all seen them, you know the type, okay? If you encounter one of those and he goes for you, just tell him to fucking stop it. Okay?
I think if you sound authoritative enough, if you are confident enough in your delivery, they might psychologically force themselves to listen to you.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the sawn-off that I have pointing at his midriff.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird coincidences, like when people go on fire for no reason.
That wasn't me. I'm not using Molotovs this year.
No, I left my petrol super soaker at home.
Now that's a fucking point, alright? I watched The Purge Anarchy Edition, second volume, whatever it's called.
The documentary.
Ah, yes, the documentary that it definitely is. Purge 2, Anarchy something. What is it? What is the name of the film?
It's just called The Purge Anarchy, isn't it?
That's a shit name.
The Purge : Anarchy : Dawn v Purge.
Okay, so I was watching Purge v Dawn : Batman of Anarchy :
this film has the Punisher in it.
It does and all, and we're going to talk about him in a bit. Oh, he's lovely. I was watching that film, alright, and I'm sorry, but it's bullshit, okay? So at the beginning, they clearly state that it's class 4 weapons only, guys, okay? So that's like what? Single shot rifles, handguns, shotguns, that kind of thing. But they had fucking Gatling guns and grenades and explosives and all this shit. I mean, what is the point? What is the point of coming up with all these rules and regulations and things you have to do and follow if you're just gonna break them seconds later? I mean, that is typical of America, okay? And that is what is going on with this film, alright? It is set in that America, and they love a bit of that. They love all their, constitution and their amendments, and everything has to be codified into law and all written up, so you can get those idiots running around shouting, "The Constitution!" in that classic American accent I just did.
Oh, hello, bollocks, we want Constitution.
Whereas our purge here in Britain, in the good old U of K, we don't have all these rules. It's far more free form. We can do our own thing. Who knows what's fair game? We don't. Can you have a super soaker full of petrol? Probably. No one told us not to. We don't have all those guns and shit. We have to make it up as we go along. We have to be far more creative.
I think that's what happens when you enforce so many rules on people. They will be forced to break them for their own amusement and bring a Gatling gun to a knife fight. Whereas in this country, because the rules are so loosely defined rules, we have the freedom to interpret them as we wish, and in doing that, we don't resort to the Gatling gun or the flamethrower or the napalm strike. We have to get inventive, we have to get creative, and I think we are a richer nation for it.
Yes, the richest of nations, I believe. I think, in my mind.
In spirit and personality, but not in amount of guns owned.
Yes, and that's clearly due to our long-standing traditions and our mythology and our lore. That's with an O-R-E, not yet A-W. These are ingrained teachings and traditions in our minds. Like, I don't know, if you see a Welshman in the pub after 9 p.m, of course you have to kill him with a longbow. It's just the done thing. Someone came up with that tradition. Someone thought that up. A pioneer in many ways. Just as the Super Soaker full of petrol. I mean, what an idea.
And it's one of those big, massive ones that has a big tank on the back.
Yeah, I think I remember those. Weren't those Super Soakers banned because they were so powerful they caused all those skin lacerations?
Yeah.
It is time for us to regale our viewers with how we like to spend our purge. Phil, do you want to tell us about what you get up to on Purge night?
No, I want to hear yours.
Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say that this is all original great chat, okay? I didn't steal this, and I'll purge anyone who says I did.
Okay.
So I've got a fantastic little purge routine I like to do, okay? I go around downtown Basingstoke in this huge armoured 18-wheeler. I've got a driver, of course. I don't drive my own truck.
No. God, no.
No. This is a civilized nation, I believe.
Yeah, we don't drive our own trucks.
So yeah, as we're driving around on Purge night, just ramming burning cars out of the way or whatever the hell else is around,
yeah,
we'll spy like a churning horde of purgers and just pull the trailer up next to them, rip the back shutters up, clack, 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 and I'm standing there, right, in all my purge garb, which consists of bloodied overalls with a plastic apron and gloves and a custom white porcelain face mask with the word intensity written over the forehead in blood, okay?
I like it.
And I've got this, like, gauntlet of syringes and scalpels where my fingers would be. I've even got one of those old-timey reflector head things that you only see in, like, horror depictions of mad doctors and the like. So it's proper intimidating, okay? In the trailer of the truck itself, I've got this awesome, like, torture chair, okay? Imagine this torture chair.
I'm imagining it.
It's all cold industrial steel with restraints and lights with those harsh metal cones aiming directly in the face of anyone unfortunate enough to find themselves in my chair. Because we all know what happens in the chair, right?
No.
Roll up, who wants to get their wisdom teeth pulled? I can do dental implants on the cheap, root canals cost a little bit more, tooth whitening services I'll throw in for free if you're getting your fillings replaced at standard market rates. For gum disease treatment and prevention, please book an appointment with the hygienist in the truck cab, because, you know, he moonlights.
He's a driver stroke hygienist.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, of course. I just assumed.
Let's purge that plaque from those maxillary premolars. Yep, got one laugh at the back there. He got it, so...
Yeah, I like it. You're performing a service, so you choose to use the whole all crime is legal thing to perform illegal dentistry. Illegal backstreet dentistry.
I mean, you want to talk about brutality? Have you seen the fines for unlicensed dental work? That's the real crime.
I mean, that's fair. They are exorbitant fees.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought that was a good use of my purge time. Do something a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be a lot of focus with the purge on murder.
Oh, like you would not believe.
Like everyone just like immediately goes to, oh, crime is legal, I'm gonna murder everyone.
It's a little hackneyed at this point. It's a little trite.
You know, there's a whole world of crime out there that you could be doing. You know, illegal, unlicensed dentistry. You could do some graffiti.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. What else can we do?
Yeah, you could I'd say you could do like a bank robbery, but I think banks will close during purge time.
Oh, you can cheat on your Weight Watchers points allowance thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like just have a big eclair when you're not meant to.
Yeah, you could leave a bag of flaming poo on your neighbour's doorstep, and then when they come out, you just knife them in the eye.
They didn't see that coming.
No.
Well, actually, they probably did in the last, flash of a second before it really, dug into the optic nerve.
Yeah.
Sometimes on Purge, I won't sort my recycling.
Yeah. You just put glass straight in that bin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. And my God, does it get rid of some inner demons.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stress and anxiety and pressure that builds up throughout the year, and then it gets to Purge, and then, yes, I can improperly dispose of all my discarded batteries and light bulbs.
You can just throw them straight in the bin rather than having to go all the way to the tip.
That's how I like to purge.
Purge, bitch.
Well, it was only recently brought to my attention that most people use the purge for murder.
It's a problem with you, really, Theo. You're not very engaged in social media in the same way that I am. I am very in tune with the millennials. And so if you have been watching the Twitter around purge nights over the past few years, you will see that almost always hand in hand with hashtag purge goes hashtag murder.
What the fuck is a hashtag?
And lots of bad Instagrams as well of just murders being carried out. It's hashtag lol murder.
I don't like the sound of that.
Hashtag crime.
I have always said I should get on that internet.
You should. It's a good time.
Yeah, get on that Twitter, that Facebook. Oh, and Snapchat. I definitely understand what that is in real.
Yep. Dick pics.
Is that what it's used for? I don't know.
Primarily, because it's very temporary. So people just go, her dick, and then it's gone forever.
Just going back to your point, though, I think you're right. The Purge isn't really just about murder.
Yeah. Sometimes I will open an illegal casino on Purge night.
Okay, Phil. Whoa, that's big time. Do we even have those? We're British. What's a casino?
Oh, sorry. Were you saying something? I was just driving a screwdriver into the kneecap of this man I have in my house.
Now, where did you get him from? Did you source him before the Purge properly started?
No, well, if you weren't such a rude, self-centered motherfucker, then you would have asked what my purge routine is, you bastard.
Well, on Purge night, manners just go out the window, Phil.
Well, we're British, so they shouldn't.
I would really love to see a British Purge film at some point, but enough of that. Okay, we've spoken about me and what I do. We've covered the dentistry and the 18-wheeler and the syringe glove. Oh, God. Okay, I really love the syringe glove. I'm going to write that down in my book of things. Anyway, Phil, tell us about your Purge routine.
Well, you say that for you the Purge is not all about the murder. For me, the Purge is all about the murder. I love to do the murder on the Purge night. It is my fave thing to do on the Purge. There's the illegal casinos and things. That's like a side project. Essentially what I do is I like to ensnare magicians.
Can't they use their powers to escape?
They try, but I'm very quick. I'm very quick and very cunning. So essentially what I do is I find some kind of disused building, possibly a school or a hospital, just depending on what I can get my hands on and what is the most creepy. And I'll put up a sign outside the building which reads this exactly: big letters, free! ! And then underneath that it says, those fucking trick card decks here, and an arrow pointing to the door.
Whoa, hold on there, Phil. Won't they suspect something?
No, because, magicians notoriously have a weakness for those fucking trick card decks that they will risk anything for. They will risk life and limb, both of which they will lose in this scenario. So they come through the door. Immediately, there's the wall of razor wire.
Okay, do they not just see the wall of razor wire?
they see it, but they really want those. Like, I just put a deck of those fucking trick cards at the end of the razor wire, and they inevitably just force themselves through it.
Can't some of them turn into like mist or vapor or something? I mean, that might be vampires.
Some of them try, but I generally have a Dyson on standby.
One way or another, they're going up the Dyson.
Yeah, and then once they're trapped in the Dyson, I will put the Dyson on the blow function and blow them into the freezer, and then they become little magician ice cubes.
Yeah, and then you can like smash those or put them in your whiskey and drink them.
Yep.
Drink down a magician.
Yep, drink down a magician. They make the whiskey cold.
It's good for the blood. Oh wait, that's vampires again.
So after the razor wire, there's the swinging hammers of doom. It's over, I hesitate to call it a crevasse. It is more like an open sewer. There's this very thin bridge that they have to cross to get to the fucking trick card deck. But there are swinging hammers across it. Very difficult to get across.
And very difficult to start up, I imagine. How do you begin the swinging hammer mechanism? Do you just very carefully, like, let them all go at once and then jump out the way? Or do you have disposable street urchins helping you out like I do?
No, it's the first one. I'm very independent when it comes to Purge Night. I just like to do my own thing.
It's true, as I have found out, you are not a team player.
So after the Hammers of Doom, there is the spike wall.
Ooh, is it a moving spike wall?
It's a moving spike wall. And so it moves at an alarming rate down a corridor.
Oh, okay, so it's not one of those slow-moving spike walls. It's just,
Yeah.
wham, and then splat.
Yeah, so they have to kind of time it just right to get past the spike wall. Otherwise, they just get turned into jam on a wall.
Okay, can you, sell that as jam, as magician conserve, or preserve, whatever the difference is?
Yeah.
I think conserve has chunks.
Yeah, it's very tart. And then if they make it past the spike wall, then there's the lion cage, of course. I mean, magicians have a on and off relationship with the lion. Siegfried and Roy experimented with the tiger and it fucking ate one of them. I think that's a thing that happened.
Okay, I think I'm going to have to look that one up because I sort of figure that if you're mucking about with lions or tigers or whatever the hell it is, it's sort of your own fault if you end up mauled or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, apparently they now run a menagerie together.
I thought one of them got mauled.
Oh, yeah. Horn's injury. Apparently one of them got his horn injured, which I assume means penis.
Are you looking at Roy Horn got injured by a tiger?
Yeah, that was his own stupid fault.
Yeah, prick. Obviously, magicians, they might be able to calm the tiger. It was a lion a second ago. They might be able to calm the lion, but this is the only situation where I will employ a helper of sorts. It's just a little orphan boy who just pokes the lion's balls with a sharpened stick.
Oh, I bet that gets him right salty.
Yeah, and
the lion, that is, not the balls.
A few weeks before the Purge, I know you're not supposed to do any prep for the Purge, but I sort of poke the lion's balls with the sharpened stick and show him pictures of magicians.
Isn't that animal cruelty, showing them pictures of magicians?
No, it's not that. Not animal cruelty. So, it's just like flash up and be, David Blaine, poke to the balls. Darren Brown, poke to the balls. Who's that one? Fucking
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, poke to the balls.
Who is that other one?
David Copperfield, poke to the balls.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay, give him a right poke in the balls and all.
Do you know the worst one though? Chris Angel.
Is he the angel?
He's like the goth one. And he spells his name Criss, if that doesn't tell you all you need to know. The first Google images are him just holding a cat.
The calling card of a prick.
If they can get past the lion, which is unlikely because it has been conditioned to just fucking go crazy when there is a magician and a poke to the balls, then they get to the final chamber.
Ooh, what's in the final chamber?
There is a box that has another sign above it which says free those fucking trick card decks here. Brackets, but you have to get in the box.
I mean, aren't any of them suspicious at this point? They've seen so many of these signs and these cards have yet to appear.
No.
No.
The magicians are very trusting. Ironically, for people who base their careers on lies. So they get in the box. They get in the box to get their free fucking trick card deck.
Are you waiting and watching somewhere, unbeknownst?
Well, yeah, obviously, because as soon as they get in the box, I just put a sword through it.
Yeah, give them a taste of their own sword.
And then if they can move out of the way, just put another sword through it.
And what if they move out of the way of that?
And then just sort of crisscross the swords in the box until there is little left but splinters and gore.
I mean, Phil, you are aware that this is actually a trick of sorts that they practice. You know, they can sort of predict, okay, a sword is coming in there, then another one there, and they sort of move around them. Are you not concerned that they might snake around the swords as they come in, as is their way?
Well, you say that like I don't have a contingency in place, Theo. I mean, come on. If they do that, I'll just drop a fucking anvil on them.
Ah, like the Roadrunner and the Coyote. That always worked out for him.
Yep, but notoriously, magicians are slower than the Roadrunner.
Notoriously. They're known for it. Known for it, mate.
Notoriously. It's well known.
Yep, well known little fact there. That could go on a top trumps card. The Magician, slower than Roadrunner.
Yeah, Magician speed 3, Roadrunner speed 10.
Yeah, admittedly, this is a bit of a weird top trump set that I have.
I just shuffled all of my top trumps in together. Lamborghini, speed 7.
Yeah, just ruined all of them.
I mean, you might think that I have to do some pre-work to get the Magician murder house all set up. You couldn't be more wrong. I'm very efficient with it. I have, in many ways, it's sort of like a flat pack situation. As soon as I hear the klaxon sound, I can just truck it all in and just set it up within a matter of minutes and then bring on the magicians.
Okay, so do you have like a locale that you tend to use? Like an abandoned building somewhere or warehouse?
Well, I mean, after the launch party, the Benghazi consulate building is freed up. So, you know, that might be, just pop it there.
Okay, and also, what kind of flat pack are you using? Is this IKEA or Argos? Oh, and for the love of God, please tell me it's not a Wilco flat pack.
Oh, no, come on. I mean, I buy drain cleaner and champagne flutes from Wilco, but not furniture, you monster.
Yeah, I did get some shelves.
Did they fall apart immediately?
The less said about the shelves, the better.
Did you put something on them and they just disintegrated? They just became dust.
I mean, I would class Wilco flat pack furniture as potentially lethal. So in fact, they might make a good sponsor for the Purge. In the meantime, though, what is it that you use? No doubt it's the finest IKEA has to offer.
Yeah, I use the IKEA ones that have the most unpronounceable names. I think that's how it works in IKEA. Like the less pronounceable the name of the product, the nicer it is.
Yeah, I mean, we all like Malm. That's always a good one, Malm, but it's pretty basic.
Yeah, we all like Billy. There's a Billy bookshelf. Everyone could say that. That's not fancy. The Schnickelflön, that is a nice piece of furniture. I don't know what it is. I think it's one of those chairs where it doesn't have a back and you like curl your legs underneath it. That is supposed to be good for your posture.
It is, apart from when you learn how to slouch on those chairs and they suddenly become terrible for your posture. I mean, you can't even like lean back on those things, so...
I just have a Google search page for Chris Angel open, so I'm just going to close that down.
See, now I have a Google search page open for Thomas Jane.
Okay, because he is the Punisher.
Yeah, he is, but I was watching The Purge Anarchy v Batman.
Dawn v Batman.
Yeah, and I think Frank Grillo could kill Thomas Jane.
Could he also kill Ray Stevenson?
Oh yeah, Ray Stevenson was the Punisher that one time. I guess he looks like he could go a few rounds with Frank Grillo.
Because the Ray Stevenson Punisher in Punisher Warzone is inexplicably superhumanly strong. There's a bit where he just punches a guy in the face and the guy's face just explodes. Or it just like collapses in on itself.
Maybe that guy just had a weak face.
That is his fault.
Get a stronger face.
I mean, maybe he had a face made of biscuits. We don't know. It could have been Biscuit Face.
Yeah, it was that famous Punisher villain, Biscuit Face. And then when Punisher kills him, he just goes, "That's how the cookie crumbles."
That wasn't very good.
Because the Punisher is well known for his quips.
Yeah, and then he just shoots himself in the head for not being very good at quips. And then we get a new Punisher.
Yep. John Bernthal.
Yeah. He was a good Punisher, but I can't help but feel Frank Grillo would just, kill them all. He could definitely kill Thomas Jane.
Well, Thomas Jane old now.
What? But this is the thing, though. Thomas Jane, 47. Frank Grillo, 51.
What? That dude's not 51.
Yeah, he's 51. Do a Google. Do a Google now, okay? I'm not having you take me at my lying word.
Frank Grillo. 51.
51. He could kill Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane. 47. Jesus Christ. Thomas Jane has not aged well.
I mean, Thomas Jane, he's doing well in The Expanse, but he wishes he was the Frank Grillo incarnation of The Punisher, which wasn't really The Punisher, but he might as well be.
It was the best Punisher film that has been made.
Yeah, it pretty much was. Okay, so Daredevil, The Daring Devil, Season 2 had The Punisher in it. That was pretty good, but they also had fucking Elektra in it, so fuck that shit, because they've never done that right. Whereas The Purge, Anarchy, Wonder Woman v Justice, that was pretty good. Okay, it's not the literal Punisher, but I mean, he takes out a whole armed soldier unit thing at the beginning of the film, just as a detour, just on his way to work.
He was the spiritual Punisher. But one thing that Thomas Jane has on Frank Grillo is that he is vegan police. So,
oh shit!
He could,
shit. Yes, he was.
He could take away people's psychic vegan powers. Don't eat chicken.
And he also bit that shark the once.
What?
I think it was in Deep Blue Sea. Someone bit a shark, maybe. And then that Norwegian bloke got his arm bit off, I think.
Are you just describing the plot of Deep Blue Sea now?
Yeah, it's relevant, though, because part of the problem in that film was that company, right, they were performing illegal experimentations on sharks. They just did it on Purge Night. They could do as much experimentation as they want. Of course, that was set in the middle of the ocean, and now I'm realizing that in order for the Purge to take place, you have to be in a country that takes part in the Purge. So I guess, ironically, in international waters, it's normally a place where you can get up to some mischief, but in this case, it's the one place on the planet where you can't purge. Yeah, I don't really know how that works, but maybe they should introduce the Purge to the sea.
The Purge Sea Edition. I think it should be the Purge : Get in the Sea.
I mean, the sea is already a bit like the Purge. You know, because you can just sail out there with a few like-minded folk and get down to business. I mean, that's probably the Purge, right? They could be doing all sorts out there.
We'll have fully armed Fight Club on a boat.
Exactly. I mean, the sea is chaos anyway. It's pretty much like a natural purge as it is.
Just start doing the Purge in the sea.
Really, this holiday should be about recognising the sea during Purge time. Purgemas. Anyway, I've completely lost my train of thought, but we need to go over what else do we get up to during the Purge? What other crimes or not crimes can we do? Miming?
Yeah.
Miming without a licence, you can do.
Yeah, you can busk on the London Underground, not even in those zones.
Holy shit, yes you could.
Not even in that little circle that you have to go in to busk.
In fact, you could stand next to the little semicircle.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I go out and buy some Haribo on Purge Night.
Yeah.
I buy it, of course. I don't steal it. I buy it.
No.
Because, you know, obeying the law on Purge Night, that's true subversion.
Yeah.
That's how I get my rush.
Sometimes I will import soft drinks which have refined sugar in them.
That's a good one. Oh, you could get one of those, Panda Colas, or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Panda Pops.
Panda Pops. Oh, I'd kill for a Panda Pop, and tonight I probably will, because Purge, bitch.
I distinctly remember a situation where I was drinking a blue Panda Pop and it made my whole face blue. Not my whole face. It made my top lip very, very blue.
Yeah, we should get a few of those in. If I see anyone walking past, I will beat them to death with a cheese grater and steal their Panda Pop, because no doubt they'll have one, because it's all the rage now.
Yeah, because obviously everyone has Panda Pops on Purge night.
Damn right, The Purge, brought to you by Panda Pops.
Yeah.
Oh, what else could you get up to? Oh, in fact, actually, the bulk of our legal work gets done on Purge night.
Yeah, because it's a pretty easy job. They just, the boys in legal can just sort of rush through the paperwork, really. They can cut a lot of corners.
Yep, same with paying our taxes. All the accounting boys are hard at work.
Yep. And we can put all of our money into the offshore accounts. We can do some serious tax evasion.
Yeah, and then we tell the accountants that we'll pay them.
And then we don't.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Purge, bitch.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, we don't.
I hope they don't steal all of our money.
That's a risk I think we have to take. In order to save a little bit of money, you must risk all of your money. I think that's how it works. That is how finance works.
Yeah, the Purge really is just a money game. It's just a way to get ahead in the fast-paced world of high finance. Another thing you can do on Purge night, you can watch BBC shows without a TV license.
Yeah.
You know, the economic benefits cannot be overstated.
No.
This is a great use of your time on Purge night. You know, everyone's there catching up on their Doctor Who.
Yep.
And Sherlock. And other great entertainment TV shows from the BBC, like Luther and the other shows.
And This Morning.
No one watches that.
I know.
Wimbledon Live, perhaps.
Sometimes The Voice.
Ooh. The one that's set in the past.
The News.
Such great shows that the BBC provides us with. We're lucky to have it.
Yep.
The Purge, brought to you by good old Auntie Beeb.
Yep.
Homebrew. We could do homebrew.
Yeah. Get in the airing cupboard.
We could make beer. It doesn't have to adhere to the standard fortification guidelines that are laid out by the man.
No.
So yeah, we can make some beer. I've never tried that before. What goes in beer?
I think you just get like the bottoms of all the bottles of beer that you have already and just pour them in and like, I think maybe boil it.
I mean, you either boil it or freeze it. It's one of the two.
There's probably some things you could put in, put some stuff in to make it taste like stuff, like old sock. Twiglets. That's a good one.
Yep, any good bar snack always goes nicely in a beer. Oh, it's got malt. It's got malt in it, some kind of malt.
Vinegar. Malt vinegar. Just pour a bunch of that in.
Okay, so we'll put some vinegar in, and then I think there's a grain of some kind, so maybe barley or flour. We'll probably just get by with flour.
Yeah. Drinking a pint of beer is essentially like eating a loaf of bread anyway. Like, nutritionally, I think it works out to about the same.
Oh, and we could sell it. We could sell it on the streets. And in fact, what are we going to call it? Foot stank?
Purge brew. Purge brow.
Purge and brow.
Yeah.
And we can serve that at our restaurant that we'll open up that violates all of the health codes.
Yep.
In terms of food, we could just serve whatever the hell we like. We could give them a bin lid of regurgitated pizza chunks.
Yeah, we can serve bashed rat.
Okay, how flat is that rat?
Not flat enough. It's just sort of one smack with a saucepan, with a griddle, and onto the plate, out to the customer. We can
wait. So the cooking process is just a very forceful thwack from a cooking utensil, and are you hoping that the sudden release of energy will be so great that it just instantaneously cooks the rat?
Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot, Theo. What you do is you heat up the griddle pan with a blowtorch first, then just bam on the rat, cooked and flat. It's called tenderized, I think. Then just throw it through the kitchen hatch at the customer. And then what you do is you refuse to give tips to your staff. People could give tips, but you just keep it all.
Yep, fuck it. We're not American.
Need to buy more rats.
Wait a minute. Are you buying the rats?
No, you're going to buy them.
I mean, it's not like we have hygiene standards. I thought you just find them scuttling across the grill or swimming in the soup.
It is artisanal bashed rat. Only the finest rat will do.
Well, I'm pretty sure that when I'm working on my sauce, which, by the way, is just Dr. Pepper boiled in a pot, I kind of figured we'd find many a rat in there. I mean, rats love Dr. Pepper, right? They go together like mice and cheese, or badgers and mashed potato. Rats and Dr. Pepper, I mean, one in the same.
Yeah, the gourmet choice.
Yes. Oh, we could also do scandalous food.
Such as?
Okay, well, we can get our mascot, the living salad, from an earlier podcast.
I remember him.
Yep, sometimes portrayed by Patrick Fabian, but maybe this time we could get someone Z-list to portray him, like Thomas Jane or someone.
Yeah, the Patrick Fabian version of the living salad, that's like the movie version. But then it's like that thing when sometimes they do a movie and then they immediately do a TV show of the movie and they get unrecognizable people to play the same characters that were played by A-list celebrities such as Patrick Fabian in the movie. So we just get Thomas Jane to play him instead.
Yeah, and he can be like the fun mascot at the restaurant. You get those in those American restaurant chains where the staff have to awkwardly interact with the customers. Although we don't really have that over here because we still have the incredibly judgmental British reserve in our waiters. They're more like, would you like to look at the wine, sir?
Are you using the soup spoon correctly?
Yes, exactly. And if you do make a faux pas, they won't say anything, but they'll just glare down their nose at you with quiet disdain. At worst, they might just go, and that's it.
If you're really bad, they might say, so uncouth.
Yeah, but fuck that. We're not doing that this week. Instead, we're going to be doing one of these American chain restaurants, okay? Like, I don't know, Uncle Moe's Family Feed Bag. You know, one of those types, okay? So typically, it might be one of the things where the staff will have to sing happy birthday or some crap like that. In our restaurant, they're all just sitting down, having a nice time, having a nice family dinner, and then suddenly the klaxon goes off and purge!
And then, oh my god, the purge started!
Purge.
Oh my god! We were just having a nice family meal and then the purge happened.
It's going to be great, right? Except our restaurant isn't going to be purge themed because our mascot is the living salad, played by Thomas Jane in this case. So he can come out with his, I don't know, courgette noodle hair, celery arms, tomatoes for kneecaps, whatever the hell it was we came up with for him last time. And he can burst through the kitchen doors and announce, hello, I am the living salad. I don't know how he speaks, maybe that's it. And then this is where we come to the scandalous food, okay? So we'll have a dish called the Donkey's Feast.
Or Gentleman's Hat.
Yeah, or something like that, okay? So then he comes out, Thomas Jane, remember, as a living salad, and so he approaches a family, he goes up to the youngest little girl there, and says, what would you like, little girl? And she says, I want the donkey feast, sir. Your wish is my command. That's how he responds, and then he unveils his penis. Okay, he undoes the little fly at the front of his salad pants, and he pushes it through, okay, and it's a carrot that pokes out the front of his trousers there, and then she has to take a bite off the end of it. That's illegal.
That is very illegal.
You're not allowed to do that, but we can do it in our restaurant on Purge night.
Yeah, because Purge, bitch. And that's what he says while she's eating the carrot.
Oh, that's a bit dark, but I guess it is the Purge, so
yeah,
you get what you pay for.
I enjoyed the use of the word unveil there. I feel like people don't unveil their genitalia enough anymore.
Oh no, okay, unveiling is always the correct term. It's like a ribbon cutting ceremony or something.
Or it's like the curtain opening at the premiere of a new performance. And then there's just a penis on show.
Yeah, in this case though, it's all fine because it's not a penis, it's a carrot. I mean, we don't know if it's just stuck over Thomas Jane's penis, or if we've hollowed it out and he's got his penis in there, or maybe we've removed his penis, or potentially injected him with some DNA mutagen that has changed him into a salad man. We could do all these things. It's the Purge.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very busy time on Purge night. There's lots of things we've got to do.
Yep, we do like to spin many plates, Phil.
That's what we do.
Yep, we spin plates. That's what they do at a restaurant, I think. But keep in mind, this is all an automated process. The restaurant basically runs itself. We're just like the wealthy owners, okay? We can go down there in the evening, sit down, have a glass of wine, and watch a child bite the end off of Thomas James's penis, dressed as the living salad, and we'll just look round and be like, I fucking love my restaurant. This is brilliant.
Swirling the glass of wine. Yes, this is most excellent.
Yeah, we're entertaining people, Phil. We're providing a service, like my dentistry and all the other things we did, like brewing beer in the airing cupboard or whatever the fuck it was. It's providing a service for people, providing a means for them to express themselves and to revel.
So what you're essentially saying, just to sort of wrap this whole section up with a nice, neat bow, is that the Purge brings people together.
Like in a paste when they fall into the grinder, or in a more metaphorical sense?
No, the grinder paste one. Do you want to hear my Purge tips?
Okay, give us your tips. I don't mean penis, and how many have you got?
I have 3.
Cool, okay, give us the first one.
Tip number 1. Anything is a weapon if you throw it hard enough. So we all know that a good sharp machete or a freshly oiled piece or an upturned lawnmower are the best weapons to have on you when the Purge klaxon sounds. But did you know that literally almost anything can be a weapon if you throw it hard enough at someone's neck? That's right, the handiest thing you need to remember for the Purge is that the neck, while home to some of the most important parts of the human body like veins and the esophagus, is also mostly just skin. Even a simple book can become a deadly weapon if you hurl it at a person's jugular like a discus, so don't feel like you have to rely on traditional means of arming yourself. In many ways, that makes a library a veritable armory. Go to the library and throw books at people.
You said anything can be a weapon.
I said almost anything.
Oh, okay, is that your get out of jail on Purge night clause? So when someone throws a coaster at you, you can just, I don't know, blow their head off with a sawn-off.
Yep, that was essentially what I'm doing with these tips, is I'm putting people on the wrong foot. I am trying to trick them into doing something foolish, and then I will just kill them.
Okay, what about a helium balloon?
Difficult to throw. I said it can be a weapon if you throw it hard enough at someone's neck.
What about a Pikachu?
That's a weapon. The tail is sharp and lightning bolt-like. It's a bit jagged, and it will probably say Pika Pika something and then explode into electricity.
I know that we're in the middle of your Purge tips, but do you think Pokemon Go was invented just to get people outside on Purge night?
I think so.
Oh, and by the way, does this section have like a flashy name?
No, I was trying to come up with one, but there weren't enough PH sounds I could put in. I was going to call it Phil's Fun Purge Tips, but...
You could call it Phil's Fun Purge Fips.
Okay, that's what it's called. It involves a lot of spit.
Okay, does your next tip involve spit?
No, it does involve a bodily function, though.
Is it farting?
No, the headline for the next tip is "Nobody messes with a pants shitter."
What if they're into that?
Just let me get through it.
All right, sorry.
Sure, outside the Purge, everybody wants to be the neighbourhood nice guy, but where does that get you when there's a yuppie murderer banging down your door with a sledgehammer covered in your neighbour's brains? It's much better to gradually cultivate a reputation as a goddamn maniac over the other 364 days of the year, and make sure when Purge time comes around that people think you might eat them and do sex stuff to their bodies. So leave a few rotting animal carcasses lying around the neighbourhood, occasionally scream and shit your pants in a residents association meeting, and threaten your local bobby with a rusty box cutter every few weeks, and when the Purge happens you'll be able to sit comfortably and binge watch Stranger Things on Netflix without a care in the world.
I hear that's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's good.
Yeah. So how much shit does there need to be in the pants? Like, do you have to empty your bowels, or will just a little bit do?
It has to be enough that it is both audible in the Residents Association meeting and creates a heady stench.
Like a rich bouquet of odours.
Yeah, like probably just eat a lot of red meat and garlic for the week before your Residents Association meeting, and then drink several cups of very strong coffee right at the beginning of the meeting.
What the fuck is a Residents Association meeting?
Don't know. It's a thing I heard someone mention once.
Oh, what? And you thought, that sounds like literal hell. I know a way to spice things up.
Shit in your pants on Purge night.
Yep, right. Okay, third and final tip.
Yeah, third and final tip. Most importantly, don't be a poor. Everybody is aware that the purge is just a cynical way to cleanse society of the lower classes while simultaneously giving rich people the chance to shoot poor people in the head and brain with impunity and sometimes torture them with bolt cutters and a hot wire. So the most important thing to remember when the purge comes around is simply to not be poor. So quickly getting an incredibly high-paying job or accidentally discovering that you're secretly a forgotten member of the aristocracy a week before the purge begins is always a good move. Failing that, you can always disguise yourself as a rich by stealing some designer clothes and stuffing your mouth full of money. Remember, wearing Primark clothing will get you axed in half almost immediately.
Philip Penelope Roosevelt, I find your comments about Primark to be offensive, okay? If you buy Primark, your clothes will not disintegrate off of you immediately, okay? In fact, you can get yourself a decent enough purge outfit at Primark. It only costs you £3, okay? It won't last until next year. Be perfectly good for just the one night, though. It's only £3, okay? And that'll do you fine. It won't disintegrate just yet. Primark may be one of our sponsors for the purge this year.
So you are arguing that Primark clothing, in fact, contrary to what I said, is perfect clothing for the purge.
Exactly.
Because of some reasons that you said, but I was mostly just imagining that I found out I was a member of the aristocracy.
Yeah, and have you eaten your money yet? Do you eat it or you just keep it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Like just stuffed into your cheeks like how a hamster would?
No, you just keep it just sort of a few notes just sort of poking out of your mouth, but it has to be full. It has to be full of money. And not coins. It has to be notes.
But what about those old-timey notes that are like the size of an A4 sheet of paper?
Yeah, like bearer bonds, ideal. And there's no jangly with the money in the mouth. It has to be like rustly at best.
Yeah, so when you're buying things and you go down to the corner store, if you're American, and get yourself a Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that a thing?
A peanut buttered cup, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So one of those, and the cashier says, that's $20, sir. And then you just open up your mouth and go, "Mwah," and then pull out this saliva-riddled sheet of paper and just splat that down onto the counter.
No, what you do is you open your mouth and just go, and all the money just comes out. Like, you know, those machines that sort notes? It's essentially like that, but it's just money just flying out of your mouth.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tip.
Keep your money in your mouth. More tips coming next week from Quality Irrelevant.
Anything to do with the purge or just tips? Just general tips?
No, just tips.
Okay. There's only one more idea I wanted to touch on. I think we may have skipped over talking about how sexy Frank Grillo is. Maybe we could say a few more things there.
Yeah, sexy Frank Grillo has very large and attractive bicep muscles. He also, I did notice this in Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yes.
He has a lot of veins in his face.
He does. He's got a veiny face.
And he seems to be straining a lot in the Captain America movie. Dawn v Iron Man, and it's not a good look, really. There is something vaguely testicular about his appearance on occasion.
But straining like a testicle sort of expresses his frustration at Captain America, at how good Captain America is and how not good he is.
Yeah, like, I did all like lifting a heavy thing for ages, but you just went in a box and came out and you were all strong. Very jealous of you. Strain.
But overall, Frank Grillo, lovely boy.
Yep, nice boy. Well done, Frank Grillo, for being nice boy.
Yep. better than Thomas Jane. Right. Okay, the main point, Phil.
That's just the main point.
It's okay, we can do this quick, okay? And Phil, I want you to pay attention here. I want this idea to capture your brain, all right? And for you to be like, fuck, this idea is in my head and I can't get it out, okay? So, Phil, you mentioned on Purge Night you like to work alone, yeah?
I do. I am in many ways a Punisher-type lone wolf figure, except I have mattress in a van just hanging out.
Who may be dead. But yeah, as you say, that's the archetype on Purge, okay? The lone wolf, the person who works alone. And I get it, there are downsides to this, okay? You could just be walking around with, I don't know, your handheld Gatling gun. I know you're not allowed those.
Yeah, super soaker full of petrol.
Exactly, so you're just walking around on Purge Night, doing your purging, and then some asshole, like a sniper, will shoot your weapon out of your hands, and then you'll be like, oh, shit! Now I'm vulnerable. Now I'm a potential victim like everyone else outside. I didn't foresee this. That's not fair. I was all cocky a minute ago, just running a baton down a railing and singing a nursery rhyme. But now, I'm like everyone else. I'm unarmed. Oh no.
So you made it sound like you were walking down the street whistling like Omar. And everyone was like, oh my god, it's Omar. And just running and hiding.
Omar coming. Except, of course, he didn't even need a gun. You just looked at him and then they just fucking run. But yeah. Phil, I am not Omar this week. Yet. And neither are you.
No.
So, we're living in different times, okay? Adapt or die.
Do I have to choose? Can I, just sort of chill out and have some cake?
There may be time for cake later, but...
Okay.
Phil, we are living in different times, okay? The purgers these days tend to stick together. They go round in roaming bands. They're not like us. They don't do the lone wolf thing.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be you'd walk out on the street and it's everyone for themselves, but now you'll come across hordes of purgers as if they're zombies all banding together, all, you know, having fun and protecting one another and hunting down weaker people to kill, and maybe they've got a head going round in like a soccer game or something, or having a human meat barbecue, or some Fight Club shit going down. You know, group activities, cooperation. So we don't want to fall behind the times, Phil, okay? We're going to be victims if we don't watch out. So I think we should capitalise on this and we should form a movement.
Okay.
Okay, make the Purge great again. Take back the Purge. Occupy the Purge. So if that's what people want to do, they want to go around in gangs on the Purge, let's bring all these gangs together.
To unite the disparate Purge gangs into some form of Purge army.
Now, Phil, that is an excellent idea that I totally wasn't leading you towards like a lamb to the slaughter. Bringing all the gangs together. Now, Phil, where should we do this? Basingstoke? Now, that's a brilliant idea. I wouldn't have thought of that. How about in Van Cortlandt Park? Not the one in New York, the one in Basingstoke. That totally exists.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so think of all the gangs that you get on Purge Night. We've got Cleaves's Reavers.
Yeah, the Cleavers.
And they're not cool.
No.
Because they're out there doing their cleaving and the reaving, but they're led by Cleaves, so meh. What other gangs have we got? The Beetleborgs?
Yeah. They're there.
Unfortunately, they don't have any of the cool armor that they had in the show. They just got shitty plastic toys.
Yeah.
And some of them just have actual beetles just smushed into a mask and put that on their face there. It's not very good. It won't stop a bullet or a knife, but they try.
No.
We've also got the Hey Arnold gang. The Hey Arnolds.
Yeah.
Hey, football head.
And that big fat one who's called Hector or something. I don't remember.
Gerald. Yep.
Black Friend.
Helga.
Yep. Sick Boy.
But is that one? Which one's the tall one?
Oh, sorry, I got mixed up between Hey Arnold and Train Spotting. Sorry, I do that all the time.
They're up there as well, the Train Spotting imitators. They're there too. You got your Ewan McGregor lookalike. Now, Phil, who's going to bring them all together?
Us.
You.
Patrick Fabian.
No, you.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were just throwing out ideas.
No, it's you.
Me?
You are the charismatic one out of the two of us. You are the leader.
Yeah.
You were born to lead. You can't help it, Phil. It's what you do. You will be our Cyrus. Remember, Cyrus from The Warriors.
The Warriors.
The film.
Come out and play.
Yeah, Warriors! Grillos, come out to play, yay! With the beer bottles on the hand there.
That made my testicles are inside my body now.
Yeah, it's freaky stuff. That actor will do that. David Patrick Kelly, I think. He was in John Wick as the cleaner. He didn't have the beer bottles on his fingers in that film, so we didn't recognise him.
No. Didn't have his signature beer bottles.
Okay, so we've got to get the attention of all these gangs, all right? We've got to bring these gangs all together in Basingstoke. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an aggressive billboard campaign, all right? Sorry, you are going to do an aggressive billboard campaign. And on these billboards, we'll say, hey, you gangs, i.e. Cleves' Reavers, the Beetleborgs, Hey Arnold gang, Train Spotting Imitators, Autumn Children, why not?
Yeah, they're in there. There's the Living Salads Lettucemen.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy's street urchins. Maybe they're getting up to their old tricks.
Yeah, with their war hyenas and death gimps.
Yeah, mattresses. They're just kids that dress like mattresses. Yeah, they're weird. Okay, so we'll get all of these gangs together to unite under one name. You.
This guy.
Cyrus. You will be our Cyrus, just like in The Warriors. Okay, and the billboard will say, hey, all you gangs, all mentioned above, all of you are shit, fuck you all, come to this location in Basingstoke at this time, and I'll fucking give you one.
Yeah, we'll do a big punch-up.
Yeah, except that's not what we're going to do.
No, but we want to trick them into... Because they won't come otherwise, unless they're itching for a good old Barney.
Yeah, because they'll be like, right, I'm a tough gang member. I am Gerald in the Hey Arnold's gang. I slit a postman's throat the other day.
That was in the Lost episode of Hey Arnold.
But this guy who's offending me, who's making fun of me, who's saying I'm a little bitch and saying my gang is weird and not a real gang and based on a cartoon.
And that I have a tiny little pecker.
Yeah, whoa, this guy must know his stuff. I'm impressed. Let's get down there and see what he's all about.
Yeah, because I think the way that you win over these people is with confidence. So you're just confidence and, like, aggression.
Oh, yeah, Phil, you would survive in prison.
Yeah, I know. I would become the king of prison.
Well, you're not the king of prison this week. You're the king of all the gangs.
Yeah.
So when we've got them all together, Cleves' Reavers, Beetleborgs, Hey Arnold gang, Train Spotting Imitators, Autumn Children, Uncle Jimmy's street urchins, they're all there. And then you stand up in front of all of them wearing a dressing gown and maybe some pants, okay? And you just shout, can you dig it?
Okay.
And just like stick your arms out either side, okay, and rotate, just spin around.
Yeah.
And just shout again, can you dig it?
Yeah.
And I think
I could do that.
That'll work.
I think so. I think then I will be the king of all of the gangs.
And then with your arms out, you can just shout, we got the Cleves' Reavers standing next to the Beetleborgs. We've got the Hey Arnolds next to the Train Spotting Imitators. We've got the Autumn Children not murdering the Uncle Jimmy street urchins. We've got the Chud Wranglers.
The Chud Wranglers. Yeah.
That was a desperate one. We've got the Chud Wranglers next to the Lettucemen. 20,000 members strong. Can you dig it?
Just what?
Can you dig it?
There's a single voice from the back of the crowd just going, yes.
Can you dig it?
Maybe if you give us time and a spade.
And yeah, that's as far as my plan got, because unfortunately in the film, that's the point that Cyrus gets shot, and he never really got to explain what his plan was, what the next step was. I think he went on a thing about, the cops, there's too many of us, they can't stop us. The army, they can't stop us. So we could probably do no one will be able to stop us. Not Ethan Hawke, not Thomas Jane, not the Autumn Children, probably. Not Frank Grillo. Honestly, he'll probably fuck us all, but don't think about that. And then you get shot, and then I don't know what the rest of the plan is.
Okay, I'm up for all of this. Less so the whole getting shot thing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean like,
that's, yeah.
If I have to take the good with the bad, then I will.
I like the bit where you say, "Can you dig it?"
I said it like almost too many times.
Yeah, to the point that it's a little bit worrying. Like, maybe you don't know that you've said this bit already.
And I think a lot of people will be thinking, like, is this rhetorical, or is he expecting an answer?
Yeah.
And I am expecting an answer from each and every single individual person there. Like, I want them all to confirm that they can indeed dig it.
Well, maybe you should get your Lieutenant Dave Benson Phillips up on stage.
To just point at everyone.
Yeah, and he can just point at each person. So he's like, 1, you, Arnold, from the Hey Arnold gang, right?
Yeah.
Can you dig it? Yes, moving on. Then there's Arthur from Arthur. You know, the hey, what a wonderful kind of day, that one.
Yeah, and then there's head ninja from the Foot Clan, Nobu.
Yeah.
He is like, yeah.
What about Bebop?
I would take Bebop or Rocksteady.
Oh, but not both.
Not both.
Oh, what, you just wave a hand and then the living salad's lettucemen, they just descend on one of them and rip them to shreds.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you have to send a message to... I feel like Bebop and Rocksteady would be troublemakers, and you have to send a message to the troublemakers.
Yeah.
And you also have to, like, put the fear into the gangs. And they go, oh, he's ruthless. He looked at, like, Rocksteady looked at him funny, and he had him all sliced up, motherfucker.
See, I think the problem that we're running into is that the film was more focused on the warriors and what happened to the warriors.
Yeah.
And didn't really focus on the interesting bit at the beginning with Cyrus and getting all the gangs together. And he was very charismatic and moving.
Yeah, and then just dead immediately.
Yeah, just dead immediately because that guy with the headband and the warriors, he shot him at the beginning of the film.
Right up the face.
For no reason. And later on in the film, when they asked him, why did you do this? He's just like, huh, no reason.
That's not a thing you should be allowed to do in films. What was the reason for the whole plot of this movie?
It's like, what? For fuck.
Credits.
Oh, and Dexter's dad was a rapist in that film.
Dexter's Laboratory.
No, although that would have made the cartoon a lot better, I feel. No, Dexter, the charming psychopath.
Oh.
And serial murderer.
And food fanatic.
He ate breakfast at the beginning of every episode.
Why he no fat?
Oh, because Americans and their breakfasts.
Oh, yeah. Where they think that a whole stack of pancakes is an appropriate breakfast for a Tuesday. God, they're animals.
Anyway, yeah, so Dexter, his dad is a rapist in The Warriors who gets arrested and is never heard from again.
Oh. Well, that's probably where Dexter learnt some of his bad habits.
Yeah, that's where he learned his old tricks.
Yeah, naughty boy.
Because in that film, he just sees a woman. There's just a woman there. He sees her and just becomes a rapist. It's unclear, that scene, because the warriors are just all walking along because they're trying to escape because they're out on Purge night or whatever the plot of the film is. That's the thing I'm going for here. The Warriors and the Purge are very similar films. That's the whole conceit here.
Yeah.
The Purge is the Warriors, essentially. It's the same film. So anyway, they're out on Purge night and they gotta get home because they're like, oh shit, you know, the Hey Arnolds are gonna fuck us up or whatever. But then they come across a woman on a bench and Ajax is just like, okay, I'm just gonna rape her, guys.
just I'll catch up with you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna just pop over here
and then the rest of the warriors are just like, Ajax, what are you doing?
You had like sitcom beats. just like, oh, Ajax.
Wah, 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 wah.
You and your raping.
And then it's really unclear because it turns out that woman is a police officer and it's just like, wait a minute, were you a police plant the entire time? You just thought, I'll wait on this bench in case someone happens to come by and tries to rape me. I mean, credit to her. They did.
It worked.
And she got them.
But I feel like it's not the best use of police resource to just have a police officer sat on a bench waiting for a rape.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because, I mean, they do recognise that what he was doing was bad. And they're not entirely cut up about him getting arrested. I mean, just to compare, one of them gets thrown in front of a train and they're way more upset about that guy. But at the same time, they do sort of mournfully look on when he gets gets hauled away, and there's sort of a vibe that maybe he fell nobly in battle like a warrior should. And it's like, no, he's in prison for attempted rape, as he should be.
You shouldn't be like friends with that guy.
Yeah, he's not like a warrior struck down in his prime. He did a very bad thing.
Yeah, he wasn't like a samurai, like forced to commit harakiri because his family were murdered by whoever the enemy of samurais were. Ronin.
Yeah, Ronin.
Yep.
I think they're samurais without masters or something. What are we talking about? How is that relevant to the Purge? Whatever. I gave up on the Purge idea a while ago. Anyway, do we have anything to finish on? Or are we just going to go out purging?
Didn't you have an ad? I think you should do that and we should just be done with this whole exercise because I've got some purging to do.
Let's get our purge on.
Yeehaw!
Are you ready for the Purge? You may have got all your machetes freshly oiled and razor sharp, outfitted your Purge fortress with the latest armor-piercing round-proof quadruple glazing, and got your family safely ensconced in your airtight anti-Purge bunker out back. But what's that? Some sneaky bugger has evaded your killing fields that you oversee through the scope of a 50 cal, stabbed your KGB-trained crack security team with a tiny little concealed belt buckle knife, poisoned your guard dog Rottweilers with Iceland grey chicken sausages, and severed your fibre optic connection to your surveillance system by chewing through the cable with perfectly straight Hollywood caliber teeth. Maybe it's that pesky Frank Grillo who just can't let us true citizens purge in peace. You certainly don't want him snaking his way up your ventilation system with his near superhuman agility, wrapping his muscular hands around your throat, carving out your piggy little eyes with that damned belt buckle knife, and freeing all your Purge hostages you've been saving for later. Well, never fear, Backblaze, the official sponsors of the Purge, have your back. Next time when Frank Grillo shows up trying to ruin your Purge, why not try a big fucking mousetrap? That's right, imagine a mousetrap. Now imagine one big enough to break the spine of Frank Grillo. You've just pictured Backblaze's signature man trap. What's that? You think Frank Grillo wouldn't be stupid enough to step on a big fucking mousetrap that says man trap written all over it in big fucking letters? Well, guess again, because there's a big hunk of medium strength cheddar at one end of it. Who could resist that? Not big sexy Frank Grillo and his ropey but well-toned grasping hands. He wants that cheese and he's going to fucking get it. And by it, we mean a stainless steel bar as thick as Frank Grillo's meaty thigh held back with enough force to uproot a 200-year-old redwood right in his fucking sternum. Ha! Let's see you get out of that. What? You think he won't go for it? He fucking will. We wrote a sign that says free cheese with an arrow pointing at the fucking cheese. What could fucking go wrong there, you cunt? That's right, Backblaze, sponsoring the Purge with their patented Frank Grillo trap. Get you one, it's all their fault. Go to backblaze.com, you prick.
I don't think there's a mousetrap in the world that could kill the Punisher.
I think if he was concentrating on the cheese...
So, the Punisher's only weakness is free cheese.
What? There's a poetic irony there, maybe. Wasn't the Punisher's family killed by a ball of Edam?
Yes, that is correct.